Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Jenelle Kim, and this is The Experts. Today, I am with the amazing Sharone Hakman. Before I begin this conversation, I want to tell you a little bit about him if for any reason you do not know who he is, which would be a bit surprising to me. Sharone Hakman first came into the public eye as a standout contestant on MasterChef. I'm excited to hear, where his soulful cooking and entrepreneurial spirit made a lasting impression. He has been seen as a TV host and judge on Food Network, National Geographic, eTelevision, and NBC, just to name a few. And from there, he launched one of the most exciting clean food brands that is even, I don't think there's anything like it, Sharone. And it's called Chef Hacks, which I personally use. I have actually created videos to share with all the moms and dads alike working, trying to balance it all, who actually want to, I'm like now having the podcast, but I'm still going to do the bio, who actually want to cook food, cook dinner a couple times a week at home after all of the events, after all of the work. He is doing it. So we will get into that. Sharone's passion for food began in his grandmother's kitchen, where he learned that cooking is an expression of love and connection. That I love. With his chef-driven sauces, dressings, and prepared meals, they are now available in over 12,000 stores nationwide. And it might even be more than that at this point. I don't know, Sharone, do you have all the stats in your back pocket? Sharone is on a mission to bring bold flavors, clean ingredients, and elevated convenience to kitchens everywhere, proving that real food can be both soulful and accessible. Also, driven by a deep passion for wellness and transformation, Sharone expanded his mission with Sunny Within and your partner, right? Okay, Kenny.
Yeah, my brother.
Yep, your brother. Mhm. A wellness brand that champions inner radiance, nourishment, and mental fitness. With roots in food, family, and purpose, Sharone's work fuses flavor, function, and intention, offering holistic take on modern living. He is a father, entrepreneur, and visionary who continues to inspire through his dedication to both outer and inner nourishment. I am so incredibly excited to have you here with me today, Sharone. We met some time ago, and I have been waiting for this conversation. So before we begin diving into all of the incredible businesses and innovations that you are doing, I would love to learn a bit more about you. So I would like to go back to, I would love to understand, what was your childhood like? Like, what brought you here when you were young? Is this exactly, because I think you worked in the corporate field for some time, right? This is not exactly how you started.
No, didn't start
How'd
this
you get
way.
here?
Grow up. You mentioned my grandmother.
Yeah.
God bless her. May she rest in peace. She was, we were talking
Yeah.
before we kicked this off, we
That's
were
right.
talking about your dad and how big of an inspiration and person he was in your life. To me, that was very much my grandmother. Both my grandparents, but my grandmother, she was my best friend.
Yeah.
She was a big part of, my parents divorced when I was pretty young, and I grew up with my mom. But she wasn't really there. And
Yeah.
so I lived with my grandparents from my mom's side. Pretty abusive relationship. I would run away pretty often, probably once or twice a week.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And my dad finally got custody of us. And my grandmother she was my home. She
Yeah.
was my best friend. Learned how to cook from her.
Yes.
Learned just I learned so much from her, and a lot of these things sort of clicked only later on in my life, right? I think like just the things that our parents and our grandparents do that you can't really um, make sense of
Yeah.
as a kid or as a teen or even in your 20s. Then finally you have a family, you have kids. You're like, wow, that was big.
I love that you just said that. I love that and we actually had a brief but very important, as far as I'm concerned, conversation as well right before we began. And it's like planting seeds, which is actually a principle that I learned, that we plant these seeds and then they watch us. I just want to acknowledge that's very powerful.
Agreed. And my grandmother did that. I mean, you're talking about a woman who's a Holocaust survivor. Both my grandparents were, and the things that she's seen, the experiences that she's had, I can never compare any of my deepest and darkest of issues. Don't come close to what she experienced. And to your point, a lot of seeds, a lot
Yeah.
of seeds. So yeah, I grew up, born and raised here in LA.
Okay.
My parents are from Israel. My grandparents immigrated to Israel after the Holocaust. But I never knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of those kids that had like this clear direction of I want to be a doctor.
Right.
I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an artist or whatever the case may be. I didn't have that. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I struggled with that. I loved sports and I played a lot of sports growing up.
Okay. What sports? What did you like?
Played a lot of basketball.
Okay.
Basketball is my number one, and still play, still love it. When you talk about things that like bring you to a place of presence, when you're just in the moment and enjoying the moment,
Hmm.
I mean, there's nothing better than sports.
Of course. It's
Sports just
living meditation. That's what I teach. It's what we can put our mind, full heart and mind
right,
into that kind of in many ways have us forget everything and just be very present.
totally right,
And that
totally
can
right,
be sports, that can be washing dishes, cooking food.
correct.
Continue.
Well, it's funny you say that because that's how it tied in. So
Hmm.
I found myself in finance. I found myself getting an internship at a brokerage firm. From there, I got into finance. I got into wealth management. I did pretty well, but it wasn't like truly my passion. I knew I loved creating. I knew I loved the idea of entrepreneurship, although I didn't know what that really meant. It just always seemed exotic and cool, and this sort of like close, but yet not here feeling. And in reality, when I was in finance, like it was this hybrid of like I managed money, so I was in charge of sort of my own destiny, but I worked within a big corporation. Right?
Yes.
Um, and so, funny thing was in 08, 09, when the market took a dive, whatever little passion I had, just really I struggled with. It's like when you talk about purpose, and you talk about being able to look somebody in the eye
Hmm.
and with your whole heart, with your whole mind,
Yeah.
like believe in what it is that you're doing and saying, like, oh, to me, there's no better feeling than that. It is just so authentic. It is so true. It is so real. It is so beautiful. And I didn't have that. I
Right.
didn't have that. So without taking this too long, I decided to leave right in the middle of
I
starting
actually
a new
love this
family.
part. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm sure you're in many interviews
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you have all the conversations, but this is
Right.
to me, and I know to a lot of both of our communities
Yeah.
and everyone alike, this actually to me is sometimes the most important thing to understand. So
Fair.
you don't have to, we'll get to all the other things.
Fair. Fair. But I will say that, yeah, I had this moment of clarity around if I don't do something with my life
Hmm.
that is mine.
Hmm.
Um, this was, I think, 4 days after my son was born.
Mm.
Um,
Funny how that happens.
yeah, it's wild, right? And to me, I realized right then and there the biggest thing was I want to lead by example. Like that was a very important, still is a very important principle to me and my kids. It's like, what's the best way to teach
Mhm.
my sons how to be or how to live,
Right.
not by telling them,
No.
but by showing them, by leading my life by example
Yes.
in any extent within your organization, your business, any relationship you have. Leading, there's no better way than leading by
Of
example.
course, you can't convince anyone to do anything, even our own children, as much as we'd like. We can
Correct.
discipline them for a bit, but
Correct.
it has to become your own. That's
Yeah,
how I was raised as well. Hmm.
exactly right. And so if I didn't make the move then, I would have spent 30 years right there doing the same thing.
And let's be real, how many people do that, right, Sharon? So how grateful we have a whole other set of things that we have to
Yes.
work through as
Yes.
entrepreneurs who we own
Oh
our
yeah.
own businesses and,
And a whole new set of tools
yes.
and experiences and challenges, and by no means am I saying like, oh my god, I made that decision and it has been like a just this beautiful
Oh yeah,
climb
just so
up and
easy.
everything's chill and
Yeah.
like everything just
Yeah.
miraculously just happened.
I
No.
did that. There's just
Yeah.
no challenges. It's just
I
all
I
hard.
put myself in the hospital a few times,
Right?
like I've been through it, and I'm sure I still will continue to do it. But um, this experience, all things coming, like all things to present, have given me an incredible set of tools and new tools to just learn more about myself.
Of course.
Like so much self discovery and layers being pulled back, and just learning to appreciate being uncomfortable and then finding joy
Right.
and gratitude
Yes.
in all the discomfort.
Yes. And
And
in
that's
all the moments in between,
and that's
leading up, everything.
that's it at the core. Like
Mhm.
business, everything. Like that's it at the core. That's what this is continue to teach me and humble me with is to enjoy being uncomfortable. Right? Anytime things get a little too comfortable,
Right.
I actually get a little nervous.
Ah, you know what?
I get uncomfortable
I
when things get
understand.
comfortable. So
Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
really important. I say I don't love to stick in the energy that this can bring, but focusing on the positive aspect. It's life is short, and I have come to teach and to live. Oftentimes, especially in the hardest moments, that's the truth. That we remind ourselves that you know we could. everything could be gone tomorrow.
Correct.
Because I have walked through that,
Correct.
losing my father, losing certain people in my life, for example.
Correct.
And in honor of them, I remind myself of this. But it can be a really powerful and in a way that brings a lot of joy, surprisingly, because when we remind ourselves of this, we realize we'll never have this moment back ever again.
Correct.
Right. And also thinking, how am I going to live my life when there are some of the most stressful moments? That if I were to be gone tomorrow, I could look back and say, you know what? I'm glad that I focused my energy on this or did not put too much energy towards this and learned to just keep moving forward. You know? I know. I hear you.
Nailed it.
Okay, so how did you get into, so you're in the corporate world
Yeah. So I was in the
Okay.
corporate world. I left, decided to
and you're
quit.
like, I'm just going to become a chef and be on
No,
MasterChef.
I didn't know what I was going to do, but I did know that I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I did know I wanted to start my own business. And I did know that I wanted, whatever that business was, and whatever that journey was going to be, it was going to be something that I owned.
Right.
And not owned in terms of owner, like it was from here. I
Love
owned
that.
it, right? Um, and I had this notepad of all these random fun entrepreneurial ideas, and it was like those yellow legal notepads that you just
Yes.
flip up, yeah.
Yeah.
And I would just always come home and jot down random business
Absolutely.
ideas.
I
And
still
so,
do that.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we're supposed to have all that
same
electronic,
journaling, and
but
stuff, and I love it. There's
totally
something really satisfying about that. And I had stacks of them, and I looked over them. And the funny thing was, the majority of them were a lot of them were food related.
Hmm.
So, without boring you to death, long story short, I had a friend of mine who is in production told me about a show called MasterChef. And being born and raised in LA, the last
Right.
thing I wanted to ever do was be on television. I was just so jaded to that, right? But I was like, why not? So I auditioned. Next thing I'm on the show, walked away from that knowing that I wanted to be in food.
Right.
And
Now, did you have your kids yet? You're saying
had
yet.
one.
Okay. So that's interesting to me because,
Had one.
yeah,
And
take a
I
while.
was like, I'm gonna go all in.
Okay.
And I went all in.
That's what I wanted to know. Because probably the biggest pivot in my life when I started the contract JBK
Yeah.
was when my son was born. And
Interesting.
on some level, that's why I wanted to hear it. And I wanted to just confirm, are we
Yeah.
on the same page with that?
Yeah.
Because on some level, it's like one of the most precious moments of your whole life. You now have a child on this earth. I have a feeling we both take that, I know we do,
Yeah.
incredibly seriously, as most do.
Yeah.
And now we're going to pivot
Yeah.
and put it all in.
I know.
I hear you.
I know.
Please.
I know. No, that's really that's it. From there, I started doing everything like I could in the TV space, figuring it out, learning, understanding, and then I loved the idea of creating product.
Yes.
And so I didn't know how to create product.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Most people don't.
Right.
And
I didn't
that's
know.
okay.
Yeah,
If you
and I
find the
didn't know
right people.
anything about CPG.
Yep.
I knew nothing about product development. I knew nothing about retail, distribution, any of that stuff. And I had this just crazy idea to say, I'm going to start my own sauce company. And so I made a small run of my sauce at a local. It was a barbecue sauce down at a local manufacturer down in Orange County. Brought it to my place, stored it at my place, and I just literally adopted the same principle I learned when I got into finance,
Yeah.
which is selling. And I just went door to door selling sauce.
I love that. That is really good advice. I hope everyone is taking note. Like, I have an idea. I really love it. I find that this is what I can really put my heart into and stand behind. And then I'm just going to go out in the world and sell it or share it or whatever resonates.
Yeah, I think I would say to anybody
Mhm.
that like thinks about one day starting their own company
Yeah.
and or creating their own product, it's not easy.
No,
Let's accept that.
absolutely.
Even if you have the best product and the best idea, and you think of any brand that you can relate to, or you'd be like, oh, I hold these in the highest regard as my goal, or example of what my first in class brand would look like. You talk to that founder, they've fallen on their face, they've struggled,
So many times.
you're right. So I would say to that person, there is no perfect. There is no perfect.
Right.
There is no, aha, I figured it all out. It is, and this is the way it's going to be.
Right.
It is a continuous improvement plan. It is a constant evolution.
Yes.
And accept that.
Yes.
And just start somewhere.
Of course. Of course. I absolutely love that. But let's go back for a second here. So,
Yeah.
MasterChef.
Yeah. MasterChef.
You got on.
Yes.
And then what happened?
I got on. I had an amazing time. This was my first time being on sort of TV and camera, and I was like, "This is fun."
Right.
And it just felt so natural, and getting put in a position where you have here's a box, and here are all these random ingredients.
Right.
Go make something spectacular. Love that. so fun.
Which is an interesting way of putting it, because then later down the road, more strategically, but you also create Sunny Within
Yeah.
and Chef Hacks, which we haven't even really gotten into yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I love
Yeah.
that.
And so I just enjoyed putting things together, creating
Mhm.
things. It has just brought me so into the moment and opened up this level of creativity that I just craved and enjoyed. And so I'm on the show. I lost to the girl who won baking a souffle.
Okay.
And I'm not, for the record, I'm not a baker. I do not like measuring.
Okay.
I hate measuring.
Okay.
Um,
So how do you, okay, what's your favorite thing to cook?
Okay.
And then what's your favorite thing to eat?
And I think you're going to ask me, how do I make my stuff?
Yes, there's so many questions I
Well,
can't
I
even.
know. Well, it's really funny because I have this theory that's set up. My team knows this. Is like, I don't measure.
Uh-huh.
For some particular reason, the minute I have to start measuring, it
Yeah.
pulls me out of this flow that I get into
Yeah, yeah.
with creativity.
Sure. It's like the yin and the yang is how I will look at everything, of course.
It just it just
Mhm.
does. Like I have to stop and I have to measure this, and it just
Well, you
to
start
me,
working on the other opposite side of the brain.
it's
You're like,
it's a
"Ah, this is
buzzkill.
fun."
It
Okay.
kills me.
Not
So
everyone, this is what makes you very special.
so here's my play on that. So whenever I'm creating a new recipe, all my ingredients are pre-weighed in advance. So I have it all out essentially ready for me, and everything's pre-weighed.
Right.
And as I'm building my recipe, whatever I'm pulling from there is getting used, and then we reweigh
Mhm.
whatever's left in there. So that net difference is my weight,
Love it.
and
That's
it lets me just
I
stay
didn't
in there.
expect that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really, really like
Yeah.
that. I was in my brain, like the logical side of me. I was like, okay, and that's how they're gonna do it. That's how you're gonna realize how to create the recipe.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
literally pull out a little bit, and then we just measure whatever's left in there,
Okay.
and that's how we know it. And that lets me just continue to just create without having to
Okay, and that's
measure.
like zoom out, and that's literally the correct way, as far as I'm concerned, that we're all on this path of how to be an entrepreneur, how to own a business, is that you have to kind of know your goals of what you wish to achieve, and then you just keep moving.
And find your way of doing
Yes,
it.
and
There's
realize
no
what's
right.
working, what isn't, and keep pivoting.
Totally
I
right.
mean, that's the truth.
There is no perfect. There is no really right. There is no really wrong. There's just finding your way.
Yeah. Well, the perfect is that path. The
Yeah.
perfect is never losing sight of what is the most important thing to you. Yes, and that journey along the way.
Mhm.
And
And enjoying it.
okay, so what's your favorite thing to cook? That's hard
Ooh,
though. When
that's a
people are like, "What's your
hard
favorite
question.
formula, Janelle, that you make?"
I
I know, I
know.
just did it.
How do
I
you
asked
answer
you.
that? What's your favorite? See,
Well, I start naming one thing, honestly, and then I start naming a couple.
I
But
know.
in that moment, how about this? In this moment, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Like if I was like, Sharon, cook me something right now, and you had all the ingredients, what would you cook?
My favorite thing to do, if you ask me the truth,
Mm-hmm.
what you are, here's my favorite vibe versus favorite thing to cook.
Okay.
If I can go to the farmer's market
Mm-hmm.
and I can just pick out whatever's like truly in season, just looks beautiful,
Right.
feels right, for some veggies and protein, and if I can get some charcoal
Yeah.
and just get a nice little grill and
Right.
beautifully cook it on an open flame with an incredible olive oil, some sea salt, pepper, and a
Yes.
few lemons. That
Now you're
like
making me hungry.
that's my happy place.
But I love that too, because that is the, I speak on the three pillars. We will not get medicine, movement, mindset. That's what the ancients taught us. And in the medicine pillar, of course, is creating the formulas, the skincare, the internal supplements, but food is the best medicine.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting to quickly. That's where I want to go.
Yeah.
And the food is the best medicine means, I want you to share this, but it is what's in season. It is what has the, I would say, the chi, the vitality. Literally, your food has that. And that's what I'm hearing you say, is that that's how you love to, if it were up to you, you would go to a farmer's market. You would
Correct.
see what has that vitality, that good chi, because when we put it into our body, it truly is medicine.
You're correct.
Mhm.
You're right. It's really difficult, right? Everyone, it's really difficult in the life we live today, in the world we're in today, to find hyperlocal foods, to find things that have just been picked out of the ground or just butchered and or slaughtered and or caught, and have that on your plate and your table within the same day.
Yes.
Right? That hunt and gather philosophy, we admire it. I love it, right? But
Yes.
it's not practical.
No, it
Not
is
in
not.
today's, we go to the grocery store, it's all pre-packed, it's all wrapped in plastic, it's already done, cut, done. That's just the world we live in today.
Right.
Um,
And we have to adapt.
we have
We
to
can make ourselves crazy otherwise, which might be worse than even.
exactly right. So like there truly is, to your point, there is something magical,
Mhm.
and I can feel it
Yeah.
whenever I have an opportunity to work with things that are that fresh,
Mhm.
that are just pulled out of the like there's this deeper connection, and there's also this deeper joy of indulging and experiencing that product, the food.
Absolutely.
It just tastes different. It just tastes alive.
Yes.
But we don't like again, not all like most of us don't have that luxury, and I don't have that luxury, right?
Now, let me ask you this, Sharon, because this is kind of an Eastern medicine 101, a
Yeah.
slight pivot from what we're talking about. But when you eat your food,
Yeah.
do you usually sit down? Or if you're in a hurry, are you like, do you skip meals? What's your life like with that?
It's a combination.
Getting
It's a
somewhere
hybrid.
here.
Yeah, it's a combination.
Okay.
I'd say it's both. More often than not, it's a little faster than slower.
Yeah.
Um, but I try to be intentional when I am in that moment.
Good. I had a feeling you'd say that, so I
Yeah,
was setting you up, but
yeah. I try to be intentional.
yeah, so important because that's part of the food as medicine.
Yeah,
Like in Eastern medicine, sitting while you eat is vital, you know? Um, Not skipping meals is vital, and sometimes we don't have the luxury of doing
I
so,
know.
but we can build it in because it really is like that is truly one of the secrets to
I know.
longevity, you
I
know?
know. It's interesting where we put our priorities as people
Of course.
today, and we want to think about how do we live our best life, but then oftentimes if you actually reconcile that on your daily practice, how much of what you're doing daily falls into that.
Mhm. I know.
And even for even for us, we were talking about this beforehand, like
Yes.
you're driving
Yeah,
up
say
to
it.
LA, like
That's right.
running, working hard, keeping you've got a packed schedule,
Right.
and we're grateful for it all, right?
Absolutely. That's why
Um,
there's no complaints.
right, but it seems sort of counterintuitive to sort of like this slowing everything down.
Yes. Well, and that's maybe why I say it because I don't have the opportunity where it naturally comes to mind, but it's happening right now. That one thing at this point in my life, when I was in my 20s, maybe I didn't do this so much,
Yeah,
to be honest. But at this point in my life,
yeah,
in my 40s, I will make the time. And you know what? I have 2 minutes.
yeah, yeah.
And if I don't, I'll ask someone
Yeah,
for two
no, I
minutes.
agree.
And if I really don't have it, then fine, I'll pivot.
Right.
But to literally sit down because that is where the chi, the energy of that food, you really do take it in. And then it really absorbs and works with your body in the way that we wish it to. It's
I'll be
not
even
just
more intentional now.
yeah. Okay, good. I'm so happy that we're touching on this,
Yeah,
but
because
it's
it's
just
so
coming to
true.
me so strong because particularly in this culture, in our Western culture, that's not a thing. In other cultures, we were talking about Portugal, we were talking about Europe and Asia for sure. It's built into their culture.
It
They've been
truly
around
is.
longer.
It truly is.
So we have to make it that
I
way.
know.
It's a
It's
funny
so
thing.
funny. I was
Mhm.
thinking about this just the other day. You go to Europe and you go to a restaurant and you can sit there and have coffee and you can sit there for an hour or two.
Oh yes, they
You
will
can have
not bring you
lunch.
the check.
They won't bring you the check.
No, when we first got there, when I started traveling there more often, we were like, "Where's the check?" And
Yeah.
then we realized that we literally have to
Right?
like flag them down. You could be there for 3 hours; they will not bring you the check.
And it is just
They
such a
even charge
different
us.
culture,
Yes.
right? And here, like,
Well, they've been around. I
go
say
go.
a million times now. I suppose it's something that I'm supposed to be saying because I say it often. But we really are like a baby country. We haven't been around that long.
Yeah,
We all come with so many different cultures,
yeah,
but we're creating something new and
I
innovative.
agree.
But all the other cultures have been around for thousands of years.
Agreed.
It's
Agreed.
just part of their. You wouldn't go to them and ask them, and they'd be like, "Well, one of the things, Sharon, that we do is we sit down and we enjoy." Maybe they will now because they know Western culture.
That's so true. I mean, what was they said all the blue zones, right? Obviously, there's
Oh,
different
it's my
foods, right?
favorite.
Right, yeah, but
Mhm.
you've got Sardinia, they're drinking wine, but
Right,
in Okinawa, they're not, right?
right.
But one of the common denominators across all those blue zones was that the people of those communities are deeply connected with the food
Yes.
that they consume.
And with the food, and then by nature, it makes them connected as a family sitting down to have that ritual and that tradition.
Yeah,
It's very important. So, on that note, and
yeah.
what I was thinking before, I am not kidding, and everybody knows me. I speak the truth. But when you were so kind to send me Chef Hacks, which is I want to touch on this, which is your new company. How long has that even been around?
Chef Hacks, a
Yes.
little over a decade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but now you're everywhere.
Yeah, and just expanded into some new categories
Yeah.
that used to just be primarily sauces, dressings,
Yes,
and
that's what I'm saying. But the
so here,
prepared
yeah,
foods. Let me
prepared
be very
foods
clear.
is truly launched right after COVID.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, because 'cause I'm like, "No, Sharon, I
No,
don't think
so
this is
we
been
we
around
had to
that long."
adapt and
Yeah,
pivot. Like I was
of
doing a
course.
lot of business in dressings and sauces, and we were running even the salad dressings at all Whole Foods at the salad bars.
Right.
And then
Tough
COVID
one.
happened, and we did a ton of stuff in grab and go, and all grab and go
Yes.
just died. There
Yep.
was no grab and
I
go
know. Which, by
because
the way, I miss a bit.
everyone's home. Yeah. Everyone was
But you're
hooked.
doing it now, so now I don't have
And,
to miss it.
and so yeah, and then after that was a big impact to our business, and I had to kind of come back, regroup, pivot, re-strategize, and we launched some new product lines that over the years with some great partners and buyers, who had some great vision and collaboration, we created some awesome, awesome ready to eat
I
foods.
mean, seriously. I
Yeah,
have to you sent me so many beautiful things, but what comes to mind right now, and if anyone looks at my feed, yes, I even put it on my feed, like oftentimes it's stories. And I think I even made you laugh because I felt so compelled to share with everyone. It was carrots.
yeah,
And let me tell you something. My boys don't love carrots, but I did the carrots and they were beautifully prepared for me. So I cooked them and it feels really good. It's like, okay, boys, I'm gonna cook. And we get home at like 7:30 at night from
yeah.
all the sports and schools and work. And I put it on the baking sheet and I tell everyone this and I put it in the oven and it's like perfectly seasoned and my boys eat all of it. And I felt so compelled to share this that I quickly was like, just get the video and film mommy. I was in my slippers with my
I
socks.
saw it. It was amazing.
I was like, I should cut this, but I don't really care. And so I'm glad we all,
That's
but
so
my
real.
point
It's great.
being, they loved it. And they literally have never, they won't eat carrots. They'll eat
Amazing.
other things, but
I'm
not the
so glad
carrots.
to hear.
And there's so many other beautiful meals that you
Yeah.
have for all of us
Yeah.
to, but I'm very grateful because,
Same, and we sell those at Costco, and we sell a lot of them during Easter time, and
yes, tell me all this. So where can people find it
sure, sure,
while we're on this
but I'll
topic?
I'll say something that I'm really proud of, like, with those carrots, we produce over 1,000,000 pounds of carrots just during that period of time,
Right.
and I get to partner with incredible growers and farmers all through the Central Valley of California,
Hmm.
and we harvest that just in time and pull that from the ground just in time to get the right size, the
Right.
right shape of those carrots. They come
Yes.
right to our facility where we clean them, roast them beautifully. Um, to me, that's so fun. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Well, I
And
truly noticed, and that's why that whole conversation led into this. I truly noticed it felt like, and again, I shouldn't even have to disclaim this. I'm not just saying this, that I went to the farmer's market, got these carrots, roasted them, seasoned them perfectly, put them on a baking sheet, and my boys ate everything.
I love it.
And so I'm really grateful because that does not happen.
I love it.
I don't think that's ever happened before. And I'm very keen on paying attention to the type of food
I love
that
it.
I feed my family. So, I mean, if you do not know about Chef Hacks, uh, it's not a joke. You seriously need to do this in your life. And then my boys were even like, Mommy, it's so nice that we have dinner sometimes, a
Uh,
couple times a week. So I
but
don't know. Yeah,
that's the idea with a lot of the
I
food that I
know.
have. I'm like,
Because they know a lot of their friends don't, which is no judgment, but that's important in life.
and it's so hard to find quality food. I think when you go grocery shopping, and it's unfortunate. Like
Mhm.
there's companies that are massive. I'm talking about like Fortune 500,
Right?
30 companies that know better, but yet they pump out and produce so much crap,
I know. It's
so
the
much,
truth.
all the food's so processed, and it's cheap, right? And so we're taught to
Yeah,
buy these
I know.
things for whatever reason. I don't know why. But my philosophy is really simple. It's like
Yeah.
if I won't put it on my own family's table,
Yes.
I make it.
It's the best thing.
That's it.
That's why it's going to reach so many people.
Yeah.
So grateful for
And,
that.
and it's really challenging, but also fun. I love that. Is how do you take clean, organic, better for you food, and how do I find a way to win with that across the country and
Yeah.
give people access to that?
Well, that's the other
And that's what
super
drives
important
me.
thing. Yeah.
That's what drives me. That's what excites me more because it's very easy to say, "Hey, I live, you know, by 5 close farmers markets, and
Yes.
I have access to this,
Right. And it
and my
costs this
income
much. And yeah.
is this, and I can afford it, and I have
Yeah.
an Air One next door."
I hear
Like,
you.
come on, right? Like the
Yes.
majority of our country, the majority of the world doesn't have that.
No.
And yes, will I always be more expensive? Yeah, because I'm using
Yeah.
better
But
product.
at this point, the way I see when I travel across the country, people know that that's something that is real, and they choose for that to be an important piece of
Yeah,
their life.
and I'm trying to
And
make it
we
more
have to, yeah,
accessible.
that's what I was just going to say. We're very
And
grateful for
yeah,
that. And then furthermore, you started, which we kind of touched on, Sunny Within.
yeah,
And so tell us a bit more about that. To me, it's like food is medicine is like herbs,
it's
right?
all
We
the
have the
same
whole
way. Yeah,
herbs and how we create the decoctions,
yeah.
and then we create them into our formulas and whatever that looks like. And you have had that natural progression as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and thanks for asking that question. Like
Hmm.
to me, like what does living my best life mean, or what does vitality mean, or one, it means getting up every day
Yeah.
with a good sense of purpose, good sense of energy,
Yeah.
um, happiness, joy,
Yes.
and to your point, what you consume
Yes.
is critical.
Yeah, sunny
what you
within.
right, and what you put into your body from the foods that you eat, and also the supplements. And I co-founded the company with my brother Ken and I,
Yes.
and we're both heavily involved in each other's other businesses and so on. And we
Yes.
get together always on the beach and have our kind of powwows and meetings. This was before the fires,
Yes.
and I don't remember if it was me or him or both of us. Somehow we were randomly talking about supplements, and randomly we're acknowledging the fact that we both have a cabinet that
Yes.
is stacked and packed,
I hear you.
and it is like a mini pharmacy of supplements.
Yes.
And this is all supposed to be good for me, but it is nowhere close to enjoyable.
Yes, which is part of the whole process.
Mm.
I certainly don't want to go too deep down this, but anyone who knows me, the doctor side of me, the practitioner side of me,
Yeah,
is you can have the best things in the world. If they're not made properly, doesn't mean they're good for you. And furthermore, if it's too much on your digestive system, like I know myself, I can look at a whole bunch of
yeah,
capsules, even
yeah,
I know how good they are. And if it's too much, I already know this is going to make me sick.
yeah.
It's a real thing.
And
Sorry.
that was the real issue that
Yeah,
we had.
I
We were
know.
like,
You won't even
this
take it
is
then.
overwhelming.
Yes.
It's not enjoyable.
Not balanced, that's for
Um,
sure.
and it's just too much. And then
Right.
even also when I'm trying to travel, trying to pack up
Yes.
my pills, I'm like, wait,
I love this. You
I
can put these
I feel
anywhere.
like I'm my grandparents, and I'm not even close to like,
I know, right? We have like pill boxes.
yeah.
We're not even like our grandparents because we couldn't even fit the pills. We'd have to carry
Oh
around
my God,
like suitcases of
exactly,
capsules and pills and powders. And well,
exactly.
people know that that's not what I'm all about.
And we're like, there's got to be a better way to
Yeah.
do this,
Well, you did it.
and that's what we tried
And
to do.
listen, I formulate these things for a long time. I was some of the first to even tell people how important these ingredients are and this type of application is. So I'm really grateful and they're really good,
Thank you,
and I
thank you.
don't say that lightly, as people
Oh, I
know.
know.
There's a lot of
Thank you.
people who trust what I say. So
That means
I
a
really
lot.
mean that. Yeah.
That means a lot.
Yeah. It means a lot to me
I
too.
had so much fun working on the flavors too.
Mhm.
Because
It's
again,
huge.
you take supplements, you think like most of the time, I would say 99% of the
Yes.
time, you're like, oh my God, this is delicious.
Yes.
I'm enjoying this so
Yes. I
much.
agree.
And we wanted to do this where we could just create an enjoyable, delicious, convenient formula. Our best seller is our longevity,
Okay. That's what I was
which
going to
has,
say. Yeah.
NAD plus, CoQ10, glutathione, lactoferrin,
Right.
and it's all liposomal.
Right.
It's just a very effective way to take your supplements on the
I
go
know.
every day. And
Yes.
that's,
And they absorb, but that's the whole thing. I
yeah,
won't get into too much detail, but the literally even the form that it's in, this kind of gel type liquid, helps the body to absorb it more quickly and
correct.
digest, but also the ingredients that you have are ones that are, the body likes.
Correct.
I know. So, if you don't know about Sunny Within, I highly recommend that you check it out.
Yeah.
And they can be found at Arrow. I mean, how many stores? Like,
We're really young. We're only at Air One.
okay, well,
We are
that's
actually just got into Jimbo's Inn in San Diego.
that is really exciting.
Yeah, Jimbo's
Okay,
a good
then I
friend of
will come
mine,
and
sweetheart of a
okay,
guy.
yeah, this is the truth.
Talk about a great grocer
Okay,
that's really built on
right.
sustainability
Yes.
and so
I mean, I'm
on.
from San Diego, so
Yeah,
this is like a whole thing.
yeah.
Yes.
But mostly online. Anywhere
Yeah.
in the country, just
Which
sunnywithin.com.
is beautiful because then everyone has access.
It's a 30-day supply in each box, and we really wanted to build these based off of function.
Yeah.
So we have a cognitive, a longevity, an immunity, et cetera, a sleep formula.
Right.
No
You have all the
melatonin.
adaptogenic mushrooms,
Yes,
which is something I've been talking about for
probably.
decades.
Yeah,
Well, for generations,
yeah.
if you consider the lives I've lived before.
Mushrooms have been
Oh
around
my God. In East
forever.
Asia, that's
It's
like our
crazy.
favorite thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I've been talking. I was like, okay, let's call it herbs. Let's call it adaptogens. Let's call it adaptogenic
Yeah,
mushrooms. So I'm so grateful.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, Sharon, I feel like we could talk forever. These conversations always get cut
I know.
so quickly, but I feel like we
Flew by.
covered at least we covered the important points that I really, really wish for if anyone is not aware that they are aware. And so grateful for the heart that you put into everything.
Oh,
I
thank you.
can see, I know, forget I can see, I can feel that you really do embody what I call living meditation, which is putting that authenticity, that groundedness, that mind, that heart into things that will truly bring positivity for us and for the younger generation. So I'm really grateful to know you and for this conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Thanks for
and
being a
before
friend.
always, and before we leave,
Yeah.
let everyone know where they can find you because I cannot forget that. We'll share all the things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Find me just my I guess my Instagram,
Give me
Sharone
your address,
Hakman.
your phone
Yeah,
number.
yeah.
I'm just joking. Do not share that.
Sharone Hakman, sunnywithin.com or get sunnywithin,
Yeah.
and just hacks.com or
Right.
chefhacks.com. You can find a lot of our fresh, ready-to-eat stuff at Costco. They've been a great partner of
Yes.
helping us bring family-sized product that is also at a great value at a great price.
Mhm.
So
I love that.
yeah,
Thank you,
thank
Sharon.
you. Thanks.
Appreciate you so
Thank
much.
you.